Ladies and gentlemen, it is Monday night. It can only mean it is NSW Raw live. Oh wow, well that was quick. I am Dave Easton, joined by Matt Rhoads. Matt, good evening.
Good evening, Dave. Great night to be here.
Indeed, and we are joined by new Raw GM Jen Michaels.
Yeah, let's see what Jen Michaels might have in store for us tonight.
Well, he did say last week he was going to do something that has never been done in NSW before, so let's see what our general manager has in store.
It'll be very interesting to see what he's got planned.
Well, after a first crazy week of NSW action, what does week 2 have in store for us? And obviously kicks off in no better style with Monday Night Raw. And well, after the shock of seeing this man back, Matt, what is going to happen tonight?
Only time will tell. See how he can do as general manager of this show. Maybe he can get things on the right path and we can have a great show.
Well, we are going to hear from him and let's see what our general manager has to say. Well, Jen Michaels Raw apparently. Well, we're going to have a tournament, Matt. 4 tournaments to be precise.
Sounds very interesting.
Winners will pick one of 4 cases. World title shot, a US title shot, a tag title shot, well, which is the 4th case then, a pink slip.
It looks like he's starting to clean house around here.
So if you win a tournament, you could get fired. That sounds reasonable then. We have more info. We are getting more info just here. Apparently we're going to have the first semi-final matches here, and the first one is coming up real soon. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us as we check in at ringside. Dave Easton here along with Matt. Matt, what a start to Raw. We're going to have 4 mini tournaments.
Yeah, this could be very interesting to see how these tournaments could shape up and see who's going to come out holding the case that could possibly earn them a title shot or a ticket home.
Yeah, we could. Well, it's going to be very interesting. Apparently, I've just got the list here, Matt. Apparently, the first match up is Mark Russ and Big E Langston.
Yeah, a very interesting matchup. I mean, Big E Langston's been on quite a roll recently, and Mark Russ has kind of been holding back lately, so let's see if he can bring it out and show what he needs to show.
What do you think about this, Matt, though? You possibly could win 2 matches and be fired.
Yeah, it's the stakes you take if you want to enter in this tournament, I guess.
But, well, I'm reading down I've been given a list here, Matt. Chris Hero versus Ryan Fox is our next tournament in one of the tournaments. Apparently, Primetime Players versus Limbo and Yuri Watson, and Carlos versus RVD. So here's a question, Matt. What if one of the tag teams get a world title shot?
Well, then the tag teams will have to decide who's going to take the title shot, I guess.
Very interesting. Well, you have to see, hey, Matt, you have to give Jen a bit of credit then.
Or maybe he'll have something more up his sleeve. Maybe he'll decide to put the 2 teams, or the tag team, to face each other, and the winner gets the title shot. Never know.
How do you know the tag team doesn't get a triple threat?
Possibly.
Well, anything is possible. Well, you've got to give Jen some credit for coming up with this idea.
Yeah, he's definitely thinking outside the box, it seems.
John Laurinaitis, are you watching? But what about this guy, Matt? Big E Langston.
Yeah, he's quite a powerhouse and definitely made his mark in the U.S. title ranks.
And, well, week 2 for Big E, and came a bit short against Chris Jericho last week, but did put a hell of an effort in.
Yeah, like I said, we'll have to see how he does against Mark Russ. I mean, both of them kind of been on the kind of down path to see if they can shed some light on their career and maybe could go on to get a championship title shot.
And we're not going to find out the other semi-finals till next week, apparently. Jan is not going to tell us. So we don't even know who these guys could possibly be facing. So that could be a disadvantage or maybe more intrigue for the NSW universe.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a lot of speculation going around on what case, who's going to get what case, and who's going to be fired, and really if they should keep going in this contest, and Be interesting to see what the competitors think about this.
A lot already. The NSW app is going crazy. Oliver Bisping, better known as NXT production crew, he's already saying, "I wouldn't want to win. I could be fired." So there you go.
Yeah, but then you got to think on the other side, there's 3 cases. You have a 75% chance that you could end up with a title shot.
And a world title shot at that as well. Who's to say, Matt? Somebody who's never been near the world title picture, gets that one in a lifetime chance, and gets the title, wins the title, and there you go.
Yeah, take somebody like Carlos, who just came into NSW, who's a new rookie in here. Maybe he could go on to win a briefcase and get himself a title shot at the U.S. title and go from being a rookie to a U.S. champion.
Nice spear by Mark Russ. Looks up for this one. And what about if Big E... Oh, well, look at this. Big E's just coming straight back, saying, I'll have none of that. Nice throw over the shoulder. And that could do it. We've seen him put people away with this before. And he gets him.
Wow, shocker.
Yeah, Big E Langston moves on. So he will be in one of the finals. There you go. Would you want to meet this guy in the final?
Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to go up against him right now. He seems like he's on quite a tear.
Well, Big E Langston is the winner of this one. So he is in one of the finals for one of the briefcases. We will find out how that gets on in February 2nd at No Way Out, as Daniel Cage backstage. And who's this? Oh, Bray Wyatt! Oh, no way! Daniel Cage has had no luck recently, Matt. Attacked last week, and now Bray Wyatt. This is crazy stuff.
Yeah, he seems to have a target on his back for the Wyatt family. They seem to just want to take him out and get rid of him.
Well, coming up next, it is another of the semi-final matches in the tournament. This is the tag team tournament, and it is our primetime players versus the team, Matt, who last week got to be the #1 contenders for the tag team titles.
Yeah, so they definitely have their title shot coming to them. They could actually maybe even get 2 title shots.
Could you imagine what that is going to do to Yuri Watson's ego?
Hey, you think Limbo would step aside to let him have a title shot, have the world championship shot, or do you think Limbo would want to try and take that title shot?
Well, who knows? Remember last week, Matt, you were saying it yourself. Who's to say that Limbo's going to pick Yuri Watson when he has the tag title shot?
Yeah, he could be thinking about maybe a possible another tag team partner.
Well, we will find out next in this semi-final match of primetime players. The first time we're going to see the primetime players in action. Obviously, we've seen Darren Young in the ladder match last week. But what about this guy, Yuri Watson and Giant Limbo, Matt? Giant Limbo, well, we've seen him win the ladder match last week. He was just destroying everyone.
Yeah, he was a force to be reckoned with in that match. He definitely let his brutality kind of reign through in that, being a ladder match and all.
Well, Giant Limbo honestly, he looks up for this one. If you've got the brains of Yuri Watson behind him, these two can be a very dangerous tag team.
Yeah, I think Yuri might want to hang out in the apron a little while and let Giant Limbo get in there and kind of wear everybody down with his power and strength, and then just the pure genius of Yuri Watson can come in there and find a weak spot and get the win, I think.
Well, this should be a very interesting tag team matchup. Remember, this is the first semi-final in the tag team mini tournament, and we are underway. Darren Young and Yuri Watson. Well, Matt, I'm still intrigued about this whole briefcase situation. 1 in 4 chance you could be fired.
Yeah, but there's also that chance that you could get the title shot. It's all or nothing, really.
That is true.
Kind of an all or nothing tournament, really.
Guys, keep your comments coming in if you're watching us on the NSW app on Twitch. Give us your thoughts through the night, and of course we'll keep, as long as they're obviously broadcastable, we will be able to do that. What about this match, Matt? Who have you got for this one?
I think I might have to stay with Yuri Watson and Giant Limbo. I think they might have the edge over this new tag team of primetime players.
Anyone, even Darren Young, can do a Russian leg sweep. I love that. Nice leg drop by Darren Young there, taking him over. But as Yuri Watson, you may be right. Get Giant Limbo in there, do the dirty work. You come in and finish them off. It could be a perfect combination.
Yeah, do a lot of double teaming and just keep wearing down somebody and keep the fast guy on the outside to be able to come in to make the save to keep the pin alive.
Oh, look at that electric chair, and Yuri Watson. Well, if you can pick anyone bigger in the Raw roster, Giant Limbo is, well, the biggest guy. He is, and the power he's got, man, unbelievable.
Yeah, I think the only one that really matches the size of Giant Limbo would probably be Zadland over on SmackDown.
Well, and even then, if you got to think, both, could you imagine them two in a ring? Be very interesting to see. But Titus O'Neil is not. If you look at Titus O'Neil, Matt, Titus O'Neil is a big dude, and he's even dwarfed by Giant Limbo.
Yeah, there's at least a good maybe 3 to 4 inches of height over Titus O'Neil.
Well, look at this. O'Neil just picking Yuri Watson. I say, look at the oh, but look at that Yuri Watson there. That strategy coming into play. As he goes into the cover, referee slightly out of position, gets only a 1. And Yuri quick to get out of there, gets Limbo back into the match. But look at this. That is strength, man, from Titus O'Neil.
Yeah, to be able to lift the guy his size up.
I've heard a lot about this Titus O'Neil, Matt, being in this tag team. Many people have said, look at that, it's just seeing that, the power of this guy is unbelievable.
Definitely got time to taunt there.
And O'Neil, oh, second. We hopefully get him back as we continue on. As Limbo into the cover. I do believe we've had a few connection problems there, ladies and gentlemen. I do apologise. I think Matt has just adjusted his headset. Matt, are you back with us?
Yeah, I'm back here.
Yeah,
back to the action.
I think we had a bit of a power surge there. We can only apologise, ladies and gentlemen. As back with the action, you haven't missed anything. It's a nice chance there for Titus O'Neil again. Look at the strength, Matt.
Hey, it's lifting him up like bags of sand, just having no problem with it.
Definitely, if Titus O'Neil could be Giant Limbo, the answer to Giant Limbo on this team is a kick out of 2 by Giant Limbo. And look at Darren Young, jeez. Both primetime players showing their strength here tonight.
Yeah, it looks like they're thinking the best way to get at him is double team.
Yeah, into the cover, referee slightly out of position. Is this enough? No, Yuri Watson saves the matchup. And you've got to see, primetime players are putting on a show here tonight, Matt.
Yeah, they're definitely working him over.
As Darren Young looking to finish this one. Into the cover. And again, Yuri Watson for about the 3rd or 4th time now saves this matchup.
Yeah, you got the speedy Yuri on the outside able to make that save real quick.
Yeah, and look at this again. Into the bridge. Has Darren Young got him this time? No, again. Yuri Watson quick enough to save the matchup. This is going back. Giant Limbo has been completely taken out of this one. As a sleeper hold applied. And Darren Young trying to put him away here. Nope, not going to happen. And you can just see, Matt, from this, what these cases actually mean to these teams.
Yeah, like I said, you got a 75% chance of getting either a tag team shot for these tag teams or a title shot. So there's definitely a win-win situation there. I mean, yeah, one case you could be fired, but you know, there's always the indies. You can always look to get some workout done and maybe rehone your skills and come back.
That's true. And look at this, Nate. Oh, Giant Limbo out of nowhere into the cover, into the small package, gets it 2. Darren Young turns it around, gets 2, gets 3, and Darren Young scores the upset. And the primetime players have picked up the win.
I would say a slight upset there. The team of Yuri Watson have been around for a while.
Well, there you go. What a way to make an impact, Matt. And it is the primetime players that will move on in the semi-final tournament. And, well, we will find out next week who are the other 2 teams. But, Matt, you can't look past these 2.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be a surprise.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. A big win for the primetime players. Titus O'Neil, Darren Young. And they will move on in the tournament. as you join us again at ringside. Matt, so a little bit of a slight power outage there, but back now and ready to go.
Yeah, there's been a lot of problems recently, like just not being able to connect with the action here.
Well, hopefully we can sort it out as we continue on. Well, Matt, let's continue on with some more action coming up. Hopefully we can get some of the... See, that's what you happen when Bisping's in the area. Chris Hero, Ryan Fox, another match in one of the brackets of the tournament. Matt, this one should be a very interesting matchup.
Yeah, a few very good technical wrestlers here. We should be having a good mat wrestling match.
And Chris Hero, who came back last week, well, in the first match of the season, beat Yuri Watson. Looking to have a bit of a new attitude for season 2.
Chris is awesome.
Yeah, looks like he's ready to kind of shed off the stigma of him and Antonio Cesaro being together and go out on his own.
Well, we will find out what happens with this one. This should be very interesting. Ryan Fox, who debuted last week with a big win over RVD. So these two 1-0 for the season, but could be very interesting to see if they go for which case they will get if they do get into if they do win one.
It'd be interesting to see if Chris Hero can make it through and get his shot at going against Antonio Cesaro.
Could you imagine? That would be a very interesting match. And of course we're going to find out later on who's going to be the new #1 contender a little bit later on, and in a triple threat match, Daniel Bryan, Ryback and Chris Jericho. But last week, Matt, we seen this guy debut, Ryan Fox, and he had a very impressive debut.
Yeah, very impressive win for him, and he showed a lot of skills and a lot of technical wrestling in that match, and I think we can look forward to seeing a lot from him in this season of NSW.
Well, Ryan Fox, Chris Hughes, this should be a very technical matchup, and indeed, Ryan debuting last week, beating RVD, and that is no easy feat, Matt. RVD, a big veteran of the sport, and Ryan came in and really put him to the sword.
Yeah, he was, like I said, very technical in his skills and showed a lot, and it was a very good win for him to get over RVD and to show that he's here to play and not mess around.
Well, a souvenir to the crowd every week. Ryan likes to bring the talent, throws it into the crowd. I don't know what it means, sort of showing to the crowd he has the skills.
Maybe he's not giving him a memento of him, and they can keep it as a thank you for him being in the ring.
Well, there we go. Let's find out what happens as these two square off. It is the third match in one of the 4 tournaments that we have tonight, thanks to Jen Michaels. And here we go. Matt, how is the technical problems? Are you all right now? Or?
Yeah.
That's good. That's nice to hear.
Still kind of slow a little bit, but it's getting there.
Well, only could happen when Monday Night Raws happens to us, and we only thought it was on NXT sometimes as well. But thank you if you're watching us, wherever you are watching us. If you're watching us on YouTube, thank you very much. Make sure you give us a like there and also a comment. If you're watching us on Twitch, keep your comments coming in, guys. Anything you say, we want to broadcast it on the show, so keep them coming. Anything you want to talk about the wrestlers or what you think maybe you think about these tournaments, especially these cases, Matt. I know we've said it a few times already, but it's really, you could be playing with your career here.
Yeah, I'm sure people are going to be interested to see what's going to happen with these cases, who's going to get what, and who's going to end up going on with them, and maybe possibly getting a title shot or not.
And we've seen the primetime players and what it meant to them. They stepped up their game tonight. Biggie Langston, he's also in one of the brackets. What about these two guys? If these guys here, what would it be? We were just talking in the introductions. If Chris Hero can get a title shot against Antonio Cesaro, what a match that would be.
Yeah, it could be a good matchup between the two former tag team partners.
As Ryan Fox trying to take Chris Hero's leg down. Nice shot to the lower back. But Chris Hero having none of that, coming back with strikes of his own. And you guys see a big brawler that is Chris Hero, Matt. Looking to put it with Ryan Fox here, gets only a 1. Nice to see some of the NXT guys tweeting through Raw tonight. Ryan Fox, look at this, looking for that suplex, didn't able to hook the leg on this occasion, Matt. Looking to see if he can get the cover here.
Yeah, I think he put a little too much power into that and kind of released his grip.
Yeah, he didn't, sort of couldn't get it there. As I was just talking before, quickly, nice to see the amazing Jess with us this evening, saying, what does the Fox say? Hashtag NSW. As Chris Hero, out of nowhere, picks up the win, and Chris Hero moves on, Matt.
It could be very interesting to see how he goes through this tournament.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Hero, your winner, and the third man in to be, well, in contention with one of the cases. We will find out next week who he will face it. No Way Out.
Be quite interesting to see what happens with these cases.
A lot of controversy going on in the chat as well, Matt, tonight. CJ saying, I think the cases shouldn't happen. Why should you get fired? Oh, as we see here, Bad News Morgan, Matt. New guy to Raw. And he has,
interesting to see what he has to say.
yeah, he has some good news and some bad news. Very interesting. The good news, of course, we're live from Monday Night Raw. Of course we are. Go, that's always good news for the NSW universe. The bad news is the U-lot of... Oh, well, that's that's not called for at all, Matt. Fat, lazy Americans? That's a bit harsh. Never move...
I don't know if...
Well... That is bad. Well, that's not going to get many fans for Bad News Morgan. And, yeah, well, I'm sure we're going to see plenty more of him. But coming up, Matt, this should be very interesting. RVD, Carlos attacked RVD at the end of the match last week. And this is the fourth match in the tournament tonight.
Well, at least RVD's going to be able to get his revenge on Carlos for what he did to him last week. And hopefully he can come out the victor and maybe get a championship title shot.
And what about this Bad News Morgan guy, Matt? Not really, not really going to make many fans with you Americans.
I don't know if he's going to make many fans here in NSW with an attitude like that.
Well, we will see. I think we will see plenty more of that guy coming up. But RVD in the ring, one of Season 1's competitors. We were talking about this last week, Matt. RVD needs to start picking up results because Season 1 didn't go well for him, and last week didn't go well for him either.
No, but now that we got a new general manager, he might look at things a little differently and maybe see something different in RVD this season and give him a title shot here or there.
But what about this guy, Matt? Carlos, an impressive debut last week when he beat Tyler Breeze, and now a chance to, well, as you say, be in the chance of winning a case, well, at least being in the final of one of the tournaments, No Way Out.
Yeah, I don't know how legal it is for him to be driving that four-wheeler down to the ringside, but I guess he's got the clearance for it, so
You have to
we'll
see
see
it's
what
a
happens.
bit of a good entrance though, Matt.
Yeah, definitely got a little redneck in him.
Oliver Bisping has said, maybe Morgan was right. Hashtag Bad News Morgan. What do you think about that? Maybe he does have a fan.
No, Sunshine needs all the fans he can find right now, I think.
Especially after that performance on NXT. Let's move on with this one. Carlos, well, I have to say, Matt, I was very impressed with Carlos last week in his debut. So it should be very interesting to see how he gets on against RVD here tonight.
Yeah, it was an impressive win over Tyler Breeze, a substantial veteran here in NSW.
And also one part of the Chick Magnets as well. Who will see Tyler Breeze actually on main event this week. He's going to take on SmackDown's Fandango in your main event. So that should be very interesting.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be an actual match and not a dance-off.
That's true. As both these compare, this should be very interesting. We've seen Carlos last week show some high-flying moves. We all know about RVD and his high-flying moves. So this should be very interesting indeed.
Yeah, I think it's going to come down to stamina and conditioning. Who's going to be able to last the longest and come out with the better move at the end to finish off their opponent.
Yeah, and RVD, look at this, just using the spinning heel again. And Carlos quick to move out the way here. But the educated feet of RVD will put him in control every time. And again, a lovely spinning kick to the right to the face. But again, I think Carlos just caught a brush of that. And RVD crashed and burned. And now look at this, Carlos already setting him up. Nice drop kick, first drop kick connects, second one connects, and then into the swinging neckbreaker, taking him down. RVD in a lot of trouble. This could be over already, Matt.
Yeah, Carlos is really turning it up.
Yeah, he got it too there. But again, RVD, too quick for Carlos. Got to say that, definitely, that could be enough if he connected him right under the chin. Oh, 2 3/4. How close was that?
Very resilient.
And look at this. Oh, and then the choke slam down. Carlos quick into the cover. That could do enough for RVD. Oh, and again RVD this time kicks out at 2 3/4. Unbelievable. And then Carlos again drops him down. I think that could be enough to put RVD out. It is! And Carlos moves on to the next round, the final, and no way out.
No, be very interesting to see if he can continue on. I mean, be very interesting to see if a rookie could come out the winner in this one and end up being the rookie sensation of the year and go on to win a title shot.
Yeah, and Carlos, well, you have to give it credit to him, making short work of RVD, and the reign of Carlos continues.
Yeah, definitely stepped up a level. Beating Tyler Breeze and now beating RVD. That's 2 very big wins under his belt.
Well, you have to make sure you keep an eye on this guy. Carlos continues on.
Yeah, we'll have to see how he does.
Oh, well, look at this.
Very interesting.
He's not finished at all, Matt. We seen this last week. Carlos said he was here to make a statement, and look at this. There's no need for this at all.
No, there's making a statement, and then there's just blatantly just being a bully. And
well, look at this. Poor RVD. I hope it's not the end of RVD, but he's being taken out by a stretcher here. And we'll get it. Hopefully get some updates of RVD later on. But coming up next, Matt, it's the Wyatt family, and they're going to take on a non-title match against the tag team champions, Trey Donovan and Corey Graves.
it should be very interesting to see if the Wyatt family can pull off a victory over Trey Donovan and Corey Graves and possibly get themselves a title shot.
Well, so many good tag teams. This is the best thing about NSW, Matt. So many good tag teams.
Yeah, a lot of great tag teams and a lot of upcoming rookie stars. It's definitely going to be the year to watch NSW.
Well, Bray Wyatt here, who already done damage here tonight, Matt. Poor Daniel Cage. Apparently no update of how badly injured he was earlier this evening. And you've got to see Bray Wyatt's taking this a little bit too far with Daniel Cage. Beating him last week. Obviously that's a sneak attack. We still haven't found out who attacked Daniel Cage backstage last week. And now attacking from coming out the locker room.
Yeah, I think Daniel Cage is going to look to find somebody to kind of watch his back. I know Christian was doing it for a while, but I think he needs someone a little bit bigger and maybe a little tougher to help him out.
And here are your NSW Tag Team Champions. Won it at one night only tag tournament that we had. And Corey Graves and Trey Donovan. And well, we know, Matt, these guys know a few tricks, as they would say, up their sleeves.
Yeah, they're definitely an established tag team. They've really gelled and worked together to earn this their tag team title reign that they have right now. So hopefully they can hang on to it and solidify themselves as one of the greatest tag teams here in NSW.
Indeed, and you guys say this is their first match as champions, be it a non-title. So it'll be very interesting to see how this one goes.
Yeah, hopefully they can get the victory and show that they are the champions that we believe them to be.
Yeah, and Trey Donovan starting this one off. New look for Trey this season, Matt. Liking the new look?
Yeah.
Just
very similar to what he had last season.
Look at this, and Luke Harper. We all know about we talked about strength earlier on. Luke Harper has got this in abundance.
Yeah, there's a ruthless aggression that he has.
Could you see any of the Wyatt family becoming solo stars, Matt?
If anybody, maybe Luke Harper, if he can kind of focus in and kind of get himself under control and be able to work to the fans, maybe.
Well, look at this as Harper continues over on Corey Graves here. And just the power again, just the spine buster taking Corey off his feet. This is well, as we talk about it, the tag champs may just be up against one of the teams looking to take the gold off them. I'm sure Yuri Watson and Giant Limbo are watching this very closely. And a nice take by Trey. We did the tournament, Matt. We did the tournament, the one-night tournament, when we seen Trey and Corey were crown champions. You have to say that night they were very impressive.
Yeah, I mean, to be able to go through a tournament and come out the victor definitely takes a toll on you, going match after match and not having much of a respite to get yourselves ready and prepared for the next match. So,
yeah,
my hat's off to them.
Look at that, Trey coming back with a nice super kick to the outside. Corey wanted to get in there, but I don't think Trey took any notice. Maybe he might come back to haunt him here, but now we're split all four men on into the outside.
Yes, gonna need to get control of this match. It's getting out of control.
And look, Luke on the outside. What is he doing here? He's got Trey. Oh my goodness! Through, and that is on the outside, guys. There is no padding on the outside. That is really, really harsh stuff. And Luke Harper is just dissecting Trey Donovan here.
Yeah, this is that mean streak, that ruthless aggression I was talking about. They can really turn it on and just wear you down and beat you up.
And Eric Rowan throwing Trey back into the ring. This could be over, ladies and gentlemen. 2, and he got him! And the Wyatts pick up the win. Matt, and you've got to say, this is surely going to put them towards the top of the tag team rankings now.
Yeah, they're going to definitely be at least, if not third or second ranked in the the rankings for the tag team titles.
And when you've got that evil Bray Wyatt on their side, this is a dangerous tag team to look out for. Unbelievable. What a shock for the tag champs in their first match. They are defeated. I'm sure the Wyatts will be chomping at the bits to get a hold of them tag belts.
Yeah, it seemed like there's quite a little maybe dissension in the team there of Corey and Trey. I don't know.
Well, we are backstage now with our World Heavyweight Champion and Michael Cole asking him who he would like to face at No Way Out tonight in a triple threat match. Remember, Daniel Bryan, Chris Jericho and Ryback in action. And Antonio saying, well, he doesn't care who he faces, he can beat them all. He's beaten Bryan twice. Well, that is true. And the other two, he doesn't think he's even in the league. He's saying that this is NSW. Well, mentioning other leagues there. Obviously, we don't want to mention their names. Obviously, just being indie leagues. He's saying that everyone on Raw, you've got to step in the ring with him. He thinks because he is the man. Well, you've got to say, Matt, he is the man.
Yeah, if he's wearing that heavyweight title, makes you the main man of the show. So everyone's going to be gunning for him. So you better at least be watching out for his next upcoming target.
Indeed. And coming up next, we've got Divas action. The women of Raw are going to take on a Summer Rae and Megan team up. They're going to take on the women's champion, who is Paige, and her tag team partner tonight, Layla. Sorry, I couldn't think of who it was. So, what do you think about this match, Matt?
It'd be very interesting to see how Megan and Summer Rae can kind of team up together, since we know AJ and Layla have been kind of teaming up for quite a while since last season.
And a lot of people have criticised Megan for this new look of hers, saying she's trying to copy AJ Lee. What do you think about that, Matt?
Well, maybe she's just kind of a fan of hers and likes her style, so.
Very interesting. Megan surely wanting to go for gold again, but sort of open her game for the season 2, it seems, here with a new entrance.
Yeah, it looks like she's ready to go, and she's kind of learned the ropes from season 1, and now maybe in season 2 she can look to win the title.
What do you think of Summer Rae? I know you're a very big fan.
Yeah, I've been having quite a few conversations with her backstage at SmackDown, and got to talk to her a little bit before this match and helped her with a little bit of pointers and get ready for this matchup.
I hope Fandango doesn't find that out, by the way, Matt. Obviously,
well, if he does, you know, I can take care of him. He's not too big.
Well, there you go then. You know, we're having a challenge already, a SmackDown challenge on Raw. There you go. But Summer Rae ready for action. in her, well, our first match here ever on Raw. This should be very interesting. A women's tag match. Guys, remember, if you're watching us in our Twitch channel tonight on our NSW app, keep your comments coming in. We'll try and get them through as much as possible. If you're watching us on YouTube, remember to just leave us a cheeky comment, as here comes former tag team champion AJ Lee.
Yeah, I'm sure she's looking to get a shot back at Paige to get her title back. I know she's probably missing it too.
Well, we will see what a new sort of look AG will have for season 2. We've seen the women in action on SmackDown this past week. It was a big win for Summer Rae and Caitlyn as they beat Paige and Aksana. So this should be a very interesting one. And what we've seen, Matt, we've seen AJ and Layla team up on a few occasions last season. So as you were saying before, these two will know how they tag. Big disadvantage here for Megan and Summer Rae.
Yeah, quite a disadvantage. I mean, it's a new tag team, new two people not really used to being together. So see if they can get on the same page and pull out a victory over this team of Layla and AJ Lee.
Well, let's find out. This should be, as I say, this is a chance for the women of NSW to impress here. A big match coming up, and really maybe Jen Michaels could be looking at this to see who gets the next shot at Paige.
Very possible. I mean, everybody in the Diva division should be looking to go after Paige and trying to be that Divas champion.
So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Coming up next, the women of NSW take centre stage in women's tag action. So here we go. Megan and AJ Lee starting it off. There's a bit of a thing I was just saying before, Matt, between Megan looking. Many people have criticised Megan for the way she looks, trying to look too much like AJ Lee.
Well, maybe they're both into the punk lifestyle, so they kind of dress alike. So.
And I don't know if you've noticed by his absence, but no Curtis Barnett.
Yeah, I haven't seen Curtis tonight, so I don't know if he made it here yet.
We haven't seen him. We wasn't here last week. We hope he is all right. We have nothing of whereabouts. I've even been told about him, Matt. So there you go. That's very strange. We do know he's still on the roster of NSW, but just yet to be seen in any of the shows.
I know over the break he was talking about going to Japan, over in Japan, to learn from some of the Japanese stars there, to hone his skills for next season. So
maybe he's just finishing up over there.
Yeah, maybe we'll see him in a couple of weeks.
Let's hope. As Layla, AJ Lee, sorry, I apologise, taking over. Now Layla's going to get into the match. As we see, these two have tagged a few times before. The NSW up going on about the divas, of course, as they should be. What about you, Matt? In this match, who would you say is your favourite team in this match?
I'm probably gonna have to go with Megan and Summer Rae.
Oh, very interesting, going against the team that have not wrestled before, but Megan, and look at that, Summer Rae showing a little bit of tag team awareness. Oh, and obviously the famous drop toe hold into the elbow drop. Very, very used move by all tag teams here in NSW. And out of nowhere, look at that, Summer Rae dropping the leg. Megan getting very excited over that. Look at that little bit of a cuddle just to get Summer Rae up and going here. Summer Rae just calling on it. And the kick to the back of the head. Megan's took care of AJ Lee on the outside here. This one could be over. And is. What about that, Matt?
Just like I told Summer, go for that kick when you got the advantage. Her and Megan set that up perfectly.
Well, there you go. Megan did the perfect chance, keeping AJ Lee out of the ring. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. A shock win. I would have to call this a shock win, Matt. For Megan and Summer Rae.
Yeah, definitely comeback or an upset victory for them over an established team of AJ and Layla.
And what does this mean? What does this mean for one of these two girls? Could we be looking at the next person to challenge Paige for the women's title?
Yeah, I mean, who knows? We could possibly maybe even get more divas in here to possibly start a diva tag team division.
No, here's Bad News Morgan again. What does he have to say this time? Well, apparently good news is we've got a great GM in Jen Michaels. The bad news is he has to put up with the worst roster in NSW. Some of these so-called superstars are worse than the NXT lot. And we still have Antonio Cesaro as NSW World Heavyweight Champion. That is bad news, apparently. This guy is not going to make friends.
I think it's been bad news all night for Morgan.
Well, coming up next, it is your main event. The #1 contendership for the World Heavyweight title. Daniel Bryan, Chris Jericho and Ryback.
Be very interesting to see how the two Paul Heyman guys they'll stay together as a team and work to beat up Daniel Bryan and go for an individual victory, or who's going to get that victory.
And where is Paul Heyman, Matt? After what we've seen on SmackDown, I haven't seen Paul Heyman here all day.
I hear he's kind of in a lot of hot water with Vincent K. McMundo, so...
God wish him well, by the way. I have to just say that.
I heard it was only a couple of sprained and pulled ligaments here and there, so...
The guy took 2 F5s off Brock Lesnar. That he is made of certain stuff, I am telling you now. And listen to the crowd, Matt, again, right on the back of Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like the crowd's really liking to him.
Well, this should be a very interesting match. Just going off again quickly what people are saying. Bisping's again tweeted saying Cesaro champ is bad news for hashtag bad news Morgan. Oh. Well, what about this match? We have 2 former World Heavyweight Champions in this match, and also Ryback, who's been hardcore champion, so they all know how to get the job done on the big stage.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm just curious to see if Jericho and Ryback will kind of stay together, since they were a tag team for a little while. Maybe that tag team will kind of stick together for a little while, and they'll take out Daniel Bryan. We'll see who's the best between the two.
I have to say, Matt, what about this jacket from Chris Jericho? Sort of tries to rival yours.
Yeah, he seems to have found a way to light it up, but still not as groovy as my jacket.
Well, very nice jacket, by the way. Yeah, Chris Jericho, Ryback. If Paul Heyman again, well, where's Paul Heyman, man? He's not even with Chris Jericho. Are we going to? Have we seen the end of the Heyman connection here on Raw?
I don't know. He's kind of focused a lot with Brock Lesnar coming in here, so that's why I ended up kind of wanting to split away. I saw that he was going to be bringing in such a big talent like Brock Lesnar that I figured he wouldn't have enough time to focus on me. So
you knew about Brock Lesnar coming in?
I had heard rumors. I wasn't allowed to divulge anything.
Mike, why didn't you tell me? I would have loved to have known that. I would have got one up on Joe Disney, for goodness sake, on SmackDown.
Well, it was kind of like I only learned like maybe 3 hours before we went live on Thursday, so.
Wow, that is... I honestly couldn't believe when Brock Lesnar arrived on SmackDown. I was stunned. But someone that could even rival Brock Lesnar in the power stakes, Matt, is this guy Ryback.
Yeah, Ryback has definitely got a good power game going for him, so it'd be a good matchup to see him go against Brock Lesnar at one point.
Well, we will find out. Remember, and big news, ladies and gentlemen, coming out of NSW this week, Matt, the draft. It's back. February the 3rd, the Raw after TLC, the night of the draft, the night NSW rosters could change forever.
Yeah, it could be a big shake-up.
Could we see Ryback, could we see Daniel Bryan go to SmackDown?
It's very possible. We could possibly see maybe a couple of good SmackDown stars heading over here.
Who's not even to say, Matt? You could be on Raw.
Yeah, hopefully the commentators are safe on
Yep.
their shows. So.
What happens if you actually get drafted?
Oh, then I guess I'd have to not commentate for a match or two when I'm in there.
Well, it's sort of the Jerry the King Lawler situation.
Yep.
as we get underway. Triple threat. Remember this, guys. The winner of this match will take on Antonio Cesaro at TLC. Will be the #1 contender. And then, obviously, Matt, we might know who then the winner of one of the cases obviously will face.
Hey, look at this. Jericho and Daniel Bryan teaming up.
Yeah.
Taking down Ryback.
You've got to take the bigger man off his feet. You've got to put differences aside here, especially when you've got someone like Ryback. And look at this again, a double team. I'm sure this is well worked from Bryan and Jericho, but Ryback not having any of this. What would you do in this kind of match, Matt? If you were say you were Daniel Bryan in this match, what would your strategy be?
Stick and move. Try and get in fast, get a good maneuver done, and kind of step aside and try and maybe kind of build a friendship with somebody, or at least an alliance throughout the match.
Remember Ryback. Oh, anyone, even Daniel Bryan can do a Russian leg sweep. And Bryan, oh, but a nice poke to the eye there by Ryback. And well, this is all back and forth so far, Matt. Surely you've got to try and get one of your opponents out the ring if you want to win this match.
Yeah, or hit somebody with a really good move and then maybe get the other person to do a pin combination.
But you've got to be careful at all times, though, Matt. Especially if you're focusing on one person, you've got to be sure that the other person isn't going to come and sneak attack you from behind.
Yeah, there's always the possibility that you might get taken out from behind, so you always got to be thinking maybe 2 or 3 steps ahead.
And a nice shot by Ryback again. Now this has so far been back and forth, back and forth. One person's been in control, then another one, then another one. And now the double team by Ryback and Daniel Bryan. You've got to say, Matt, no friends and more enemies in this match.
It seems like it's all for one, one for all.
Look at this, the kicks. And then the kick to the head by Daniel Bryan. Into the cover, hook of the leg, and Ryback obviously going to break that up very early. Referee looked to got a shot there from Ryback. I think accidentally off. A bit strange that just seems like Ryback connected. Now Jericho out the ring. This is a chance for Daniel Bryan or Ryback, but Bryan going on the outside.
Yeah, I think Ryback should have stayed in there and kind of maybe took the breather and waited till he got back in.
Definitely, as only pins and submissions can count in the ring, not on the outside, even this triple threat match. Bryan, look at this again. Bryan, a nice forearm shot to Chris Jericho, taking him down. And you've got to see, Matt, so much on the line for these 3 superstars here.
Yep, Jericho started them out of comeback here, though.
And a nice shot, and then the boot to the face. Ryback really is just waiting his chance, and just as he does that, Jericho been able to take him off his feet there. Really, you've got to stop punishing Ryback when he's on the ground, especially as you get the big man off his feet. There's no point bringing him back up yet. Jericho and Daniel Bryan trying to do the same thing here. Ryback having none of it, coming straight back into the fire. Throws Daniel Bryan back into the ring.
Yeah, I think just Ryback with his power, he's not afraid to take on anybody right now.
Look at this. Oh, Jericho not paying attention. Daniel Bryan trying to sneak one. And Ryback kicking out at 2 and a bit. And then the shoulder blocking the goal. Look at this. The combination from Ryback and Jericho on Bryan in the corner. Very, very impressive.
Yeah, now they got those stairs in the ring. What are they going to do with that?
Yeah, and these, of course, triple threat rules in NSW. No disqualification. So stairs, weapons, anything can come into play here. As a nice insecurity from Daniel Bryan. Could be trying to set Ryback up here.
Yeah, he's been definitely working over the head of Ryback. And
where's Daniel Bryan go? Daniel Bryan's not paying attention here. Jericho's going for the cover. Bryan isn't paying attention. Jericho sneaks one. And Chris Jericho is your new #1 contender.
I don't know if Daniel Bryan wasn't paying attention when he was going out to the top rope. I think he might have been able to get the breakup, but wasn't able to get there in time.
Chris Jericho, ladies and gentlemen, is going to TLC on the 2nd of February, and he will take on Antonio Cesaro for the World Heavyweight Championship. Well, What a shocking end, Matt, to Raw this week.
Yeah, very shocking. I mean, I don't know what Daniel Bryan was thinking, but good win for Jericho, and he's heading on to take on Antonio Cesaro.
Well, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Non-Stop Wrestling Raw is over for week number 2. A big thank you to Matt Rhoads to going through all the technical problems we've had. If you're on Twitch, give us a cheeky follow if you haven't done already. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe to us and give us a comment. Tell us how we did this week. Matt, as always, say goodbye to the fans.
See you later, fans. See you next week.
For Dave Easton, Matt Rhoads, it's a very good night. We'll see you for main event.